Yo, it's L.
Before we start this video, I do want to correct something I said in part 1. I said you needed the metal cap to get up here, but that isn't true. Josh Brown Games pointed out you didn't need to. So I'm showing it, no cuts or edit, you can walk up. I didn't know this, as I used a different method to get up as a kid. This may look weird, but I used to do this as a kid to get up the hill. Also, I went back to earlier parts of the game, just to double check, make sure there was nothing I missed. For example, in Tiny Huge Island, while metal, small Goombas will run at me and destroy themselves. Normally when you beat a level, Mario takes his hat off. But if I just do that, well, he pretends like it's still off. I've been playing this game for a long time. I don't play it all the time, but ever since I was a kid, I do pick it up and play it pretty often. So there are a bunch of stars I can get pretty quickly. I don't know where else and when else to cover this, but here are a few stars in Super Mario 64 that I can show you how to get in less than a minute. This is how to get Fall Onto the Caged Island in Whomp's Fortress. You want to start by making your way up here, whether it's a triple jump, or if you can't do that, a side jump. Just make your way up, cross over here, and you want to do a long jump across. Make your way up here. You don't have to do it as fast as I do. And on this part, be careful as every second platform will move in and out. The last one won't, it'll just move up. Now you can grab this star here, which normally you're supposed to, but here's how to get the one in the cage. You basically want a long jump. Just be careful because if you go too far left or too far right, you will miss. Line up with the corner that I jumped over, and the star is yours. Next is shoot into the wild blue on Whomp's Fortress. Head to the left of the level area when you first start. Past the water here, and never mind the cannon guy, just go past him. This will require a lot of practice to get the right height and the right angle, but once you get it, you can just jump up here and grab the star. This is Wall Kicks Will Work in Cool Mountain. Now if you don't know what a wall kick is or you aren't too good at them, don't worry because it's not important. Make your way down here in front of the snowman's body. See this little spinning enemy here? Jump on him. Now follow along this wall, try not to touch it, but try to go around it. You'll see once you go behind it, it sort of cuts back. Land over here and long jump. Now the next part will require a bit of practice to get the right height and angles. Basically you can use side jumps and wall jumps to make your way up here. Take your time on the icy part, it is a pain, but once you get past it, the star is yours. Next is Snowman's Lost His Head on Cool Mountain. This isn't so much a trick as how to actually do it. I've had a lot of people over the years ask me, and I've seen a lot of people ask as well, how to do this. Talk to the head, try to avoid those gray areas that I hit as they slow you down, but make your way down. Try not to go too fast because you might fall off, and this part, try not to go too far left or right. Make your way to the snowman's head and behind it. Just stand there and you'll see the body come down. This next part, you just have to stand in the right spot for him to give you the star. There we go. Once he does that, the star is yours. This is Little Penguin Lost for Cool Mountain. This isn't really that difficult. Honestly, it might be a bit tricky for some people to grab the penguin. I know I did it pretty easily, but take your time. Once you have the penguin, jump down here. You may have to jump once or twice just to slow down a bit so you don't go flying off the edge. Once you're down here, make your way over here and jump on this slanted wall. Use a joystick to pull back a little bit. If you overdo it, you might fall off the edge, or when you land and let go of the penguin, it might walk off the edge too. As you can see, sometimes it takes a bit to grab him, but once you have him, bring him over to its parent and it'll give you the star. You may have to practice a little bit, but once you got it, it's not that hard. The star is yours. Secret of the Haunted Books in Big Boo's Haunt. You may need to practice doing side jumps and wall jumps, but once you've got it, this star isn't that difficult. You want to come in over here, do a wall jump here, make your way up. This next part may take a couple of tries. You want to do a side jump and then jump across last second. Once you got the timing down, the star is yours. Amazing emergency exit in Hazy Maze Cave. Now, if you don't know your way around this level or through the maze, don't worry because neither do I. Make your way over here to the left door. Take this enemy out, because that spider can be annoying. Familiarize yourself with this wall. You want to do a wall jump and use a joystick to guide yourself up here. Now you can long jump across to get over here, but you want to long jump across here to grab the star. You can use the red scaffolding to climb over as well. This is Red Hot Log Rolling in Lethal Lava Land. So you want to try to make sure you're at full health. If you do take a little bit of damage, there are coins laying around so you can always grab them. But you want to make your way over here. Before this part, make sure you're at full health. We're going to be making our way over here. First, start by jumping on this. Then do a long jump and come up here on the log. Jump across and hold the joystick towards the direction of the star. Once you got it, it's yours. Next is Elevator Tour in the Volcano, Lethal Lava Land. You don't have to go the way I did, and you don't have to go as fast as I did, but you just want to make your way to the volcano. Sometimes it does shoot fire, so be careful. So when you start, just walk forward and land on the platform. That looks really easy. It might take a little bit of practice to get the right angle and everything. When you come up here, be very careful. There is going to be some fire pillar thing. If you don't know it's there, it will get you. So be careful. Make your way up here, and there is a star. You just have to jump across to grab it. There we go. Shining atop the pyramid, Shifting Sandland. One of my favorite stars to get. Just grab the box from this angle. And you want to try to land beside the fence, but not too far left. Next, do a triple jump. Jump once you land, and there you go. Whirl from the freezing pond in Snowman's Land. Very simple start to get. Just follow the path that I'm taking. Just want to make your way over to the pond. Now, I don't know what these enemies are called, but just ignore them. Jump on this one here. And then fly up over here. The box on the right is a shell, but you want this one here with a star. There it is. This is Mysterious Mountainside and Tall Tall Mountain. Now, there is a shortcut to get up. It won't bring you all the way up, but to get to the next part of the mountain, you can use this wind that will send you up. Don't overjump or underjump as you will miss it. And see this enemy here? You just want to take him out. Throw him anywhere, it doesn't really matter. Just to make things a bit easier. This next part, basically you want to jump, do a kick, and fall back. It will require a lot of practice with the joystick and timing, but once you got it, you got it. Blast to the Lonely Mushroom, Tall Tall Mountain. So, you want to make your way to the shortcut. Just take the little wind up here. When you land, there is an enemy there that can pick you up and throw you. but just ignore him. Watch out for the monkey, he will try to steal your hat, and the Shy Guy can be a bit annoying. You do want to take your time when you're first doing this, but just like you saw, you want a long jump from the log over here to the star. Breathtaking view from bridge, tall mountain. So you want to start off by using the wind to get up. I feel like every time I play this level, I always end up using that. Anyways, make your way over here. Now the log can be annoying, so take your time, be cautious, get used to it before you just like run and jump on it. Now watch out for these, they can be a pain. You can also go around on the right side, it does take a little bit longer though. And it will lead you back here. Ignore these Goombas, they won't get in your way. Here it takes a lot of practice, it takes a well-placed triple jump to get in there, but once you got it, you got it. This is roll into the cage and get a hand from Tock clock. So you want to start this level off by coming in when the minute hand is at 12. As you can see, the platforms are not moving. If you come in when the minute hand is at 12, nothing in the level will be moving. It makes getting around a whole lot easier and a whole lot faster. So from here you can jump into the cage, getting the first star, roll into the cage. Or if you just jump off this little gear here and direct yourself, you can actually get the other star, get a hand. This is Swinging in the Breeze, Rainbow Ride. When you start off, long jump over here and land on this enemy. Aim for the swinging platform but pull back on the analog stick, otherwise you'll fly over. You don't have to do this as fast as I do, I'm just trying to show you in less than a minute. It does require a bit of practice, but once you get it, it's actually not that hard. Make your way up here. Just make sure you don't land on that part because you will slide down. There's just another swinging platform, and be careful because there is a fire thing up ahead. You could probably see the star from here, so just grab it. This is Tricky Triangles, Rainbow Ride. When the level starts off, jump off the edge over here and land on the flying Shy Guy. Make your way over here to this swinging platform. Pull back on the joystick so you don't fly off the stage. You can normal jump over, I just prefer the long jump. Be careful, that thing will shoot fire at you. And at this yellow platform, you can wait for it to go back, you don't have to long jump like I do. When you come down here, be careful, because if you go down that ramp, you might get enough speed and fall off. The triangles are pretty tricky, they go back to normal after just a few seconds, so you have to be pretty quick, but if you are, you got the star. I also wanted to share some helpful shortcuts that I know in this game. The first is in Ba-Mom Battlefield. You can use this to save time in the Koopa race. It is well known, but in case you didn't know, you can wall jump off here and land on the bridge. It may take a little bit of practice though. In Big Boo's Haunt, you can wall jump off here to get upstairs. You do unlock the stairs after beating the Big Boo, but it is nice to know in case you don't have the stairs yet. Next, in Hazy Maze Cave, you can wall jump to get over the red fence here. Maybe not on your first try, as this can get a little messy, since sometimes you'll miss the pole, but at least land on the ledge. In Tiny Huge Island, while huge, you can backflip onto this block, then you can jump off and get up here. It's not too helpful, but I always do it for whatever reason. Everyone knows about the wall jump here to get up. This might sound weird, but do you want to see how to get through the hallway leading upstairs faster? If you just jump through here and hold the joystick in the right direction, you'll just continue up the stairs up to the door. I also wanted to show you how you can drain the water outside once you have access to the basement. Run, jump, and dive forward, and you'll land up here accessing this area. It does take a little bit of practice, but if you can do it, you can drain into water early. Speaking of outside, when I was a kid, I always wondered, could you get these coins, and what would happen if you did collect them? I'm not sure if you're curious, but let's find out if there's anything special about these coins. And... oh, looks like it's just a 1-up. Well, now we know. Do you hate that level, Rainbow Ride? You know, the ones where you have to ride a magic carpet? Well, let me show you what I consider the best and easiest shortcut in this game. My friend was shocked when I showed him this, but you can just long jump from here to this pole. It does take a little bit of practice, but it's so easy, and you can skip a carpet ride in one of the most annoying levels of this game. Have you ever noticed doing a ground pound while hitting a block does different things depending on the item inside? In Mario 64, if you do a ground pound while hitting a block containing a star, you'll collect the star in midair. I didn't know this, and I tried it out on a few other stars, and as long as I ground pound while hitting the block, I'll collect the star in midair. It didn't work on a 1-up block, or the turtle shell, but when I hit the blocks containing the caps, I equip them in midair. Also, if you bounce into a wall and fall onto a switch, it still activates. Doing a ground pound on a block containing coins doesn't really seem to do much. I also found some weird boundary break stuff in Hazy Maze Cave. I'm in the main room with the rolling rocks, and I try to fly out of bounds. It's hard to steer as I bounce off invisible walls. I try to fly around, but more walls, and I somehow fly out of the level. Okay, weird. I try again, but it was more of the same, just flying out of bounds. But this one time, I did fly into this hallway. Nothing else exciting really came from this. Like I said, mostly flying out of bounds. The only other notable thing I did was I managed to fly to the bottom part of the level, where the water is. The last thing I wanted to get to before we move on is the level Princess's Secret Slide. So flying down here, like I've covered in some previous levels, is really difficult. I'm trying to see if I can get a really good time using the wind cap, and it takes a lot of time to get through the tunnel, and as you can see, I land up here. I never thought this was even possible, and to be honest, was by complete accident. I do slide a little bit longer on this surface. As you can see, the timer keeps going. I just thought I'd throw this in here. Look at him go. So I try again, trying to see if I could set some crazy time or whatever. But it's like I said, getting through here is difficult. This took a lot of attempts, and the wind cap didn't really seem to help that much. This part here, I'm sure if I practiced I could have taken that turn a bit sharper, but it doesn't look like I would be setting any crazy times. Funny enough, I could actually set a better time by using this trick that speedrunners use. Now, I didn't do it as great as they did. I was really sloppy about it, and it did eat up some time, and it took me a lot of attempts. But this looks like it was way faster. Especially when speedrunners do it. And with all that out of the way, let's finally head upstairs. I wanted to do this as Metal Mario, as I've never seen him open a door before, as I'm sure most people haven't. The first thing I do is head for the easiest star, the one where you just talk to Toad. I don't really know what he says, and much like everybody else, I don't really care what he says. So, there we go, star 91. What's cool too is the wing cap allows me to get up to these levels a whole lot easier. So I'm gonna head to my least favorite level in the game, Mario Over the Rainbows. It's not a bad level, it's not poorly designed, it's not cheap or unfair. It just feels like filler. And for where you are in the game, it just feels like it slows the tempo down a bit. You just fly around using the wing cap and collect 8 red coins. You already did that earlier. I felt this level, well, it's not even really a level, it's just what you did earlier to get the wing cap. Fly around and collect 8 red coins. This should have been a level at the very least, I don't know, or maybe just a small challenge where you have to use all 3 caps in combination to solve some puzzles or something. Plus, if you fall out of bounds, you land outside the castle in the lake, and it's just a huge waste of time having to go into the castle all the way to the top floor to try again. Like I said, I feel it slows the tempo of the game down, and it just feels like filler. The level starts off, you're on this cloud and you need to fly around. The first 3 red coins aren't that difficult to get, and I talk to Homeboy who opens the cannon for me. I wasn't too sure where to shoot, but I figure I make my way up and collect the coins as I work my way down the level. The rest of the coins I got no problem, and the star was mine, and I can finally leave this level. I also checked to see if wearing the invisible cap or the metal cap had any effect while you were standing on a cloud, but apparently not. Now we head for Tock Clock. I know a lot of people don't really like this level. I don't think it's a bad level. I don't think it's poorly designed. I think it's pretty well designed, actually. Just designed to be a pain. That's the only thing. There's a lot of moving parts. If you fall, odds are you're not going to land on anything. You're just going to fall out of bounds. And like I said, there's a lot of moving parts, a lot of moving platforms. The camera's good in this game, but it's not the best. And in a level like this, there's a lot of times where, at least for me, there's a lot of repositioning and everything. Don't really like the level, but it is one of the last levels, so I can understand why it's a bit difficult to get through and everything, but usually I skip it just for the sake of this video. I do want to see how the wing cap acts in this level. So I try flying around. All the moving pieces and parts don't really help, and if Mario flies around and bonks into a wall or anything, he'll fall, and more often than not, fall out of the level. It's like, come on, man. So I enter the level when the minute hand is at 12, preventing everything from moving. And these 8 red coins are a huge headache to get. Even when the platforms don't move, I can't seem to easily jump up. You're better off just taking the long way and collecting the coins as you come down. And once you get all the coins, the star doesn't spawn somewhere where you can just easily get to it either. As a kid, I used to stand on the ledges and do backflips up, and I hate trying to get this star. What a pain. So I do try to fly around the level a bit more, but I am careful to stop on certain platforms, just so I don't end up overflying, flying too fast, or bonk into something. There is a star up here in the wall, and I try to go for it, but I gain too much speed and fall out of bounds. I try again, line myself up, fly over, barely dodged the overhead platform and got the star. Just like before, I make sure nothing's moving in the level, and I fly over and slowly make my way up. This time though, I make sure to stop now and then, landing on platforms, just so I don't overdo it or miss anything. Then I get on this little gear here, just jump in the cage, and there's the next star. So as I make my way up for the next star, I forgot to come in when things aren't moving. One missed jump, and I land back at the beginning. So now I have to try again. I try to wall jump to get up here, but because everything is moving, the pendulum is really annoying as it keeps getting in my way. I haven't practiced this level in a while, but after a minute or two I get up, adjust the camera, and make my way to the star. I forgot to come in when things weren't moving again, which meant the pendulum got in my way again when I was trying to get up here. But after a second attempt, I did get up, then I had to readjust the camera. At this point, I was just flying from one side of the level to another, trying to land on higher and higher platforms. Now this star was a bit of a pain to get. Whenever I play this game, it's usually speedruns, and I never go for this star. And I did have some trouble getting it. But it was easier than I thought. You could just walk in here and get the star. I was trying to make my way up the level. I accidentally did a ground pound, falling down, and Mom pushed me off the edge. I make my way up yet again. I do try and fly from one side of the level to the other, always landing on higher ground. Honestly, at times, I didn't even use a wing cap and just got around normally. I was too worried of flying too high or too fast, hitting something and falling out of bounds. Here I don't actually go to the very top, instead I come over here. When I speedrun the game, this is the only star in the level I'll get if I'm playing it. I could fly over, which would be a lot easier, but I'm so used to doing it this way. Either way, the star is mine and the level is done. So there's only one level left before Bowser, and it's Rainbow Ride. Nobody really likes this level, do they? I don't really hate it or anything, much like Tock Clock. This is the end of the game. There should be difficult sections, difficult levels, so I get it, I don't really mind, but that being said, I don't really like playing this level a whole lot either. This is another level where if I'm speedrunning the game, I tend to ignore, to be honest, but at least it's not like Tock Clock where it's just like one large cylinder with very limited platforms and stuff, so the wing cap will make navigating this level a whole lot easier. The level starts off, and recently I've been trying to get the 8 red coins first in levels. Honestly, it's just for editing. It's a pain to try and remember when and where in a recording I got the coins, so getting them first makes editing a lot easier for me. These honestly aren't too bad. I sort of worked my way down, and I got the star. Next, I went for one of the nearby stars. I flew up onto this ledge, then I flew over to the star, and the wing cap really makes this star pretty quick to get. Speaking of getting stars quickly with a wing cap, like before I jump onto this ledge, only I fly off to the left. This was so fast, I didn't even bother editing this clip for time. I had to do this annoying wall jump thing to get up to this area and activate the cannon. I didn't know if I would need the cannon or not, but figured it was better to get it anyways. I made my way over to here, and I grabbed the star. For the next star, something happened to me that I've never seen before. I was trying to get up here, and a Mom pushed me through the wall, and I fell out of bounds. I did make it up to where the cannon is, but ended up not using it. I just flew over to the island to see if I could, and I can. There we go, there's a star. In case you're wondering how to get over here with the cannon, line up to whereabouts I am, and this should get you over. There's one star left, and with the wing cap, how hard can it be? Across from the ship, there's this huge building. And you know what's on top of the building? The last star we need. Surely I can just fly up there. So I make my way over to this glass box platform thing. The idea is to make my way over to the second one and then the third one. And hopefully I'm able to fly up from there. First I fly behind the thing and see if there's anything over here. Turns out there's nothing here to see or to even help me get up. Next I land on this ledge, which is way easier than you might think. The camera changes as I move closer inside, and then I fly off to head to the top. But it looks like I can't reach. I did try flying from the ship, and with or without the breeze, I wasn't even going to come close. I was determined not to get the star the normal way, so I tried the cannon. And it turns out the game doesn't let you aim past this part of the ship. I get it. If you could, it would make getting the star way too easy. Instead, I aim straight up, hoping that I can get enough air to fly over. Well, unlocking the cannon was a good idea, because even though the game did not want me to, I got this star without using a single magic carpet. In fact, I beat the whole level without using one. To quote one of my favorite games, Metal Gear Solid 1, "It's not over yet, Snake. We still have one level, the final level, Bowser." Aside from getting the 100 coin stars, the only other star I needed was the 8 red coin star in the last Bowser level. It was pretty easy because I had the wing cap. It did take me a minute or two to remember where all the coins were, and like that, got the final star, and I quit the level. I wanted to see how quickly I could get through this level using the wing cap. Unfortunately, I had to get the 8 red coins, which meant more or less I sort of had to play normally. I could still use the wing cap, obviously, but I couldn't take any shortcuts because otherwise I would have had to either get the 8 red coins, which meant for the most part playing the level normally, or I would have had to backtrack or whatever, so get the 8 red coins, just exit the level, I have the star, now I can go back in and not have to worry about that. I start by flying over the first couple platforms. Next, I run up the ramp, turn around, and fly over to the seesaw bridge. With or without the wing cap, there's a shortcut here you can take. Go up the stairs, run up the ramp, and when I get over to this part with the yellow coins and the red coin, I fly over to the moving platforms. I skipped through the majority of this level, and even this part here, I just flew over to get to the Bowser pipe. Anyways, here we are, the final Bowser fight. I've played this game so much, I could finish this fight before I can finish a bag of chips. Then you add the invisible cap, and I can just walk right through Bowser and grab his tail. The first 2 throws went perfectly. Now, I'm not perfect, so I don't always just throw Bowser and get a bomb every time. Sometimes it does take a few tries. For example, here, it took me about 4 or 5 throws before I actually got him to hit the bomb. I have played this game enough that subconsciously I sort of know where to stand on the stage, so when it starts falling apart, I don't fall off. Before I head out, I just wanted to fly around the stage. It looks like the little gray things that the bombs are on don't actually have any collision. The bombs themselves do. I checked under the stage to see what it looked like, nothing special. During the ending cutscenes, I did toggle between the different caps just to see what it looked like. And for this part here, I became metal, and Mario took off his hat, which I thought was cool because when do you ever get to see something like this? Super Mario 64 is one of my favorite Mario games. I can't decide if I like it more than Super Mario World or not, but either way, I'd be happy playing either game. I also have this, the Switch remaster, and now Super Mario Sunshine. I've never played it, not even once. It would be interesting to maybe play on a live stream, maybe do a video about, but that's in the future. Super Mario 64, much like Ocarina of Time, is a game that I wish would get a modern remake. I know that Nintendo sometimes re-releases them, whether it's their online streaming services like the Nintendo Switch Online, or when they had the Wii U eShop and stuff. But for me, it's weird because when you look at like classic movies, right, like Citizen Kane, stuff like that, how do they always end up on like Blu-ray and 4K and they get like remasters? Like, I love The Twilight Zone. It's one of my favorite shows. I have it on DVD and it got a Blu-ray release, and I'm thinking, this is an old black and white TV show on Blu-ray. Why can't Nintendo just pay like a small studio to just make a modern version of Mario 64 or Ocarina of Time? Yeah, they are some of my favorite games. I am being a bit biased, even a bit nostalgic, but that's just money on the table that Nintendo's not collecting, you know what I mean? I'm not against any of the new games. I love Mario Odyssey. I definitely want to do a video on that in the future, Mario Wonder, but Mario 64, I don't know, just something about it, just the jumping, the platforming, the levels, everything. Again, I could be blinded by nostalgia, but even playing newer Mario games, I just always love going back to this game. And especially being able to put on any cap I want at any time, that was really cool too. It's like playing the game again from like a new perspective in a way. It's like, yeah, it's the same game, but it's like a refreshing way to play it. And it was so much fun. And I really hope you enjoyed it. I do want to do more stuff like this, especially for old N64 games. I don't know if you could tell or not, but I love the Nintendo 64. It was, for me, one of my favorite consoles growing up, and I had a lot of good memories with it. And I'm always happy to go back and revisit those memories and revisit those games. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.
Thank you so much for playing my game.